In order to talk about any type of graph, linear, quadratic, exponential relationship or function, we need to really understand the coordinate grid. What I have behind me, I have two lines that are hitting each other at a right angle, perpendicular lines we would say, and this is called our coordinate grid. It consists of the x-axis, which is our horizontal axis, just like the horizon goes horizontal, and we've got our vertical axis, which is called our y-axis. What this is going to do is it's going to contain all of our different coordinates. Our x values are going to go across either to the right or to the left, and our y values, which are going to contain all of our up and down movements. And we know that coordinates contain both an x movement and a y movement. In order to know how far, we need to have something called a scale. A scale is how much are you counting up by on your x-axis and going back on the same amount. And how much are you going up or down by on your y-axis. Try and make these intervals approximately the same length. If you have grid paper, it's obviously done already there for you. Maybe we want to, well, generally we're going to count by ones. So we could label these just going up by 1 all the way to 8. All the way back to -8. And of course our y values will do something similar. So now we have our scale on there and a nice interval along the way. What you might notice is we have split our board into 4 sections. Those 4 sections are called quadrant. This is going to be considered our quadrant number 1. I'll label that with a Roman numeral number 1. This is going to be quadrant number 2. This is quadrant 3. And here's quadrant 4. Now we separate them into quadrants not just because they're different spaces, but because they actually contain different types of points. If we were to get into quadrant 1, you'll notice that we have to go positively along our x-axis. We have no negative numbers over here. Everything is a positive value. And in order to get up into quadrant 1, we have to again deal with positive values. Everything above over here is another positive number. So we would say everything in this quadrant has to be a positive value followed by another positive value. One to move you to the right and the other one to move you up. Whereas in quadrant 2, you'll notice in order to get back here, we have to go into negative x values. Negative x values followed by positive y values. To the left and to up would give you negative, comma, positive. To get in quadrant 3, we're going to go to the left and down. That means negative x values and negative y values. And that leaves quadrant 4, which is going to be positive x values followed by negative y values. So if I were to say to you, where is the point 3, 4? What we would have to do is we would have to go over 3 on the x, positively 3, and then go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4 would be located right here, and we would label it as 3, 4. Now if I ask where is -3, -4, we again start at our origin. We go now -3 and -4. It's going to be located right around here. Notice every time I'm finding a coordinate, I'm using my x value first and my y value second. So for instance, if I wanted 4, -2, that means a positive 4 on the x and a -2 on the y. Come down from there, and you'll notice we have a point 4, -2. This is going to be our coordinate grid, and we're going to need to use it and understand it as we continue on with this unit.